things will increasingly get more complex. But striving for simple and doing that simple thing extremely well is something I advise everyone on.
Rowan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Can you tell me what the rundown is focusing on now? Like, give me the rundown on the rundown.
Yeah, so we are a AI newsletter, and across all of our newsletter properties, we have over 2 million subscribers at nearly 50% open rate. Into the future, and where we're really expanding now is ed tech. So not just giving the news, but how do you keep up with AI and implement your business or work in 5 minutes a day?
Love it. What is the mission of the rundown right now?
The mission is, well, it's funny. When we started, the mission was just make AI accessible, understandable for everyone, because the speed was just too fast for people. So our goal was like, how can we take all this complex information and simplify it for the everyday person in 5 minutes? But it's kind of expanded now where we're doing a lot more education. So instead of just keeping people up to the news, it's like, hey, here's how do you keep up with AI, plus start using it in your business or work or whatever you find it useful for.
How did you come up with the idea for the rundown? Like, tell me about the evolution. Like, you have a tech background? Do you have a media background? Maybe somewhere totally different?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's totally different. So about 3 years ago, I was in school and I was just in a lecture, and a friend turned to me and asked a question, and I realized I don't remember anything from lectures. Like I could go to lectures 7 times and not remember a thing. So I dropped out and decided to teach myself everything off YouTube. So I'm basically fully self-taught. I spent a year
YouTube University.
I spent a year just jamming out. Like when I learn, I go super obsessively into these rabbit holes. So I went all in on code for like 4 months and like built my own projects and actually got super hands-on with it. Then I went to design, started learning Photoshop and the basic things. Not an expert, but learned the basics of everything. And then moved on to like marketing and content creation. And then when I went to content creation, that's actually the same time I stumbled across AI. So I stumbled across early AI tools before ChatGPT existed. DALL-E 2 is one of them. So same time I was learning graphic design, I'm like, wait, generative AI, this thing called generative AI is insane. And it's like this exponential curve. So if I learn the basics of any skill through YouTube, then I could use AI to amplify all those skills in the next few years, and I wouldn't be behind anymore because I was like a dropout, right? I decided to do that. And when I was doing content creation, I just took my learnings from AI and decided, hey, let's just write about this. And I was like an anonymous Twitter profile at the time. It wasn't even my name. And they do good. I had like 1,000 followers. For 1,000 followers, I think they got a few likes. Yeah. And then the ChatGPT moment happened. So it was really the right time, right place. And then the first kind of post I wrote after the ChatGPT moment went super viral. And it wasn't even ChatGPT related. I was just writing about a story that I found on how Korea is using AI to help with the elderly like loneliness problem.
Okay, yeah.
And it went super viral. I'm like, okay, this is cool. The ChatGPT moment definitely helped with that. And that's when I decided, let's just do one every single day. And it's going to teach me, the worst case scenario, it's going to teach me the skills of content, and it's going to help me, like force me to learn AI. And it really, instead of like dying down, it just ramped up. So it just started going like viral, and it just like kept going more viral.
Where were you posting?
It was just random stories I was finding.
Where were you? What platform?
Twitter.
Twitter, okay.
It's mostly Twitter. And then I tried posting across like Twitter, LinkedIn, and Twitter and LinkedIn. Threads didn't exist at the time.
Okay. So where were you in school originally?
I was in school at University of Victoria. It's like a small school in Canada.
Okay. And then when you kind of quit to like teach yourself on YouTube, what were your friends and family saying with that move?
To be honest, they're like pretty supportive.
Okay.
I think they all saw I wasn't passionate at all about school. I think when I go all in on a topic, I learn way better. Okay. I get super hands-on with it and actually build things instead of just listening to a boring lecture I don't really care about.
Yeah. When you were doing the posting early on with like 1,000 followers, did you have another job, or were you kind of like, I'm going to go all in on this and maybe business or revenue would come from it? Or were you kind of moonlighting and doing something else?
Yeah. So I was trying to become a professional swimmer. Okay. It's kind of random, no money there, but in college I was also a competitive swimmer.
Okay.
And I was working with a coach, but that's not a full-time job. There's no money. It's literally just a passion project. But yeah, I was living out of my mom's room
Okay.
at the time, and yeah.
Wow. Tell me the moment when the rundown went from like, okay, I'm just gonna post what's interesting, a way to teach myself and, learn the craft of marketing and content creation. When did it become a business?
When I started it, it was just me.
Okay.
And it was just a weekly newsletter. And at the end of my viral Twitter threads, I would just plug it in. It'd be like, hey, read the more stories that I write about in the newsletter. And it was really bad. Like I go back to those posts and it's super cringe. But I started writing those stories every week, and I used to take those posts and then turn them back into tweets. It was like this small flywheel I got started with really early on. And then I was lucky because it grew to like 250,000 subscribers organically.
Wow,
And
okay.
that's off that Twitter viral organic growth. And then that basically allowed me to get some sponsors in. At the time, I was undercharging like crazy. I didn't know how to charge, right? I didn't have a partnerships team, so I'd use a Calendly link as a booking for someone to book a sponsorship, even though it wasn't like a meeting. It was really like hacky because I didn't even have time to like respond to emails. So that's how we got started, made a little bit of revenue, hired 2 people. So my head of partnerships and then also our lead writer. They're both still with us today.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess that's the moment where it turned to business. And then there's some other lucky moments along the way that allowed us to be pretty profitable right off the start. And then, yeah, we just took all that profit, pushed it back into growth, and then just built out the flywheel of the newsletter that year.
Wow. How big's your team now? What's the operation like?
We're at 15.
15. Okay.
15 now, yeah.
Wow. So you went from like, you said a hacky Calendly invite to 15 people. That's wild.
Yeah. At the time, I thought I was a genius.
Yeah.
Like the Calendly, like no one was really doing it, and it allowed me to actually create more content. And yeah, it worked out well. But when we actually got a team going, it was like, okay, now I actually have a business, and it allowed me to really focus on the growth on the content side. And yeah, that was definitely an inflection point moment for us. And the team is 15 now because the newsletter team is actually like only like 7.
Okay.
But the education side, it takes a lot more effort because we do live workshops, we do community stuff, we do content every day on the platform. We have developers building out our own custom platform or app eventually as well. So the education side of it is like almost like a new company because it's like 2 separate Slack chats really.
Let's talk about the education part.
Okay.
What you're kind of expanding into this. What is the goal of the education, and like, what is the product right now?
Yeah, so our mission is to upskill a billion people to help the world accelerate productivity and just boost global GDP. The way we think about it is our newsletter and media team, we've gotten over 1 billion views already. And imagine we could help them work at least 10% faster with these AI tools. And I think 10% is like the low bar.
Okay.
But even if we help 1 billion people work 10% faster, what does that do for like global GDP? Like we can actually make a dent in this world by doing that. So that's like the high level vision. But currently the product is we do daily guides. So we think traditional courses right now aren't teaching AI properly.
Okay.
And the reason why is because the space just moves too fast.
Yeah.
We've never seen any kind of technologically advanced technology ever move this fast. So what we do is we do these daily guides. So say GPT-5 launches today, tomorrow we'll have content on it. And the content will be sourced from our community. So we actually ask the community, how are people using these tools in their actual work? So we're getting real practical use cases. And then we reverse engineer it and we create a full guide. We add a video to it, we add GIFs. So it's super simple. And you could go into that guide and you could see how you use AI for writing or how you use GPT-5 for writing specifically. And it could be something really cool that helps you with your content that you never knew about. So we do those daily guides. And then every single week, we also have a live workshop with our expert educators. We can go in, ask live hands-on workshops. So it's not like a course where you have no teacher. You actually have a teacher every single week. And then we also have this community where you can engage with other people who are actually building the tools, using the tools for their work, that sort of stuff. Build partnerships with them even. And then the last main aspect of it is perks. So we have a lot of partnerships through the newsletter with pretty much any big AI lab, big AI company you can think of. And now we're starting to bring big yearly perks to our members. So for example, if you wanted like Bolt or Windsurf, these are two big coding, AI coding platforms, you can get a year free almost from just being a member from our platform. So that's where we're currently at.
Cool.
The vision is to bring this into an app. So we want to be on everyone's phone, and we want it to be like 5-minute daily AI skills, really, because we think every single knowledge worker needs to learn these skills in one way, shape, or form. Some maybe more than others, but our goal is to basically get rid of that fear and complexity out of it and make it simple for everyone to understand.
I love that crowdsourcing idea, because I was going to ask, like, we were one of my colleagues was talking to a big AI person, and the person's quote was basically, if anyone tells you they know what's happening in AI or like where it's going, they're just lying to you, because it's just changing so fast. And I was going to ask, like, if you're doing education, how do you stay up? But it's stay up on the forefront of it all. But it sounds like you're in the trenches and you're crowdsourcing from folks who are doing it right now, correct?
Correct. The moat for us is really speed. The big course platforms, they're great, and they've been great for years. But I think for AI specifically, it just doesn't really work. It moves too fast. So a lot of these courses, they take 3 to 6 months for production. By the time they're out, there's new models, there's new tools, and they kind of need to update that course already, and they can't. So they're essentially teaching this outdated information, or they're stuck with teaching like this technical, non-practical stuff, which isn't really that useful to the everyday like knowledge worker. They don't need to learn the technical aspects of AI. They just want to know, how can I actually use this in my work? And the tools are actually really simple to use. They're not that hard. It's just they need to know what's possible. So that's really what we do. We try to inspire them with that.
On the education side, when, if a new feature comes out and then like, boom, the next day you have a course on it, or at least not a course, but yeah, a rundown of it all. How does your team educate themselves on it quickly and become expert enough in a few hours to go out there and share it with the world?
Yeah, my team is that's what they do full time. They love it. They're fully focused on getting that information out. So we've really developed a good workflow where some of it we are building ourselves, some of it we're actually taking for the community, and then we reverse engineer that and build out these guides that are really short, to the point. It's like the rundown style where we don't add any filler, right? It's very practical. You can test it today. We'll actually even add templates that you can copy and paste. Not all tools have templates, but with ChatGPT, we'll give you like the prompts that we actually use. You can copy and paste it. And we try to make it as simple as possible for the everyday user.
When you give me an example of when you reach out to the community for ideas and lessons, how does that function work?
Yeah, well, the most basic one is...
And where's the community live? Are they just subscribers to you?
There's two communities.
Okay.
So there's the one big community is obviously the newsletter.
Okay.
The AI newsletter itself has 1.4 million subscribers. Across all of our platforms, we have 2 million. But the AI specifically, and at the bottom of that newsletter it's like, how are you using AI in your work or life? Submit here. We'll feature you. And a lot of our readers actually self-submit how they're using it constantly. And then when there's a big launch, our newsletter is very up to date. Speed is really what we do as well. And we'll add at the top, we're like, hey, this is a new tool. How are you using it? So we do it for new tools, and then we also have it every day for everyday things. So that's one side of it. We're sourcing a lot there. The other side is from the actual university, and we have basically a live chat there. It's almost like a Slack chat, but it's built natively into our web app. And we'll get a lot of people talking in there. We'll get a lot of requests through there as well of like what people want content on specifically. And then, those are the two main things. And then the other thing is knowing what tools people actually want to learn, because I think we get like stuck in this like tech nerd bubble. Like even my team, it's like we have subscriptions to every tool, but the average person does not, and they don't want to. So when people join, we have these really complex onboarding surveys where we learn what tool they actually use and what they want to learn on. And based on that, we can reverse engineer it. And there's some days where it's a little bit slower in the news. So then we take those answers and we're like, okay, where do people actually have subscriptions to? And where can we create more content on for them?
How does the rundown make money, both on the media side and on the education side?
Yeah, so there's two core pillars. The media side is through sponsorships in our daily newsletter. We work with pretty much any big brand you can think of, like Microsoft, Meta, Google, pretty much everyone. And that works well. You can see in the newsletter, it's a daily sponsorship, and we've actually had lots of feedback from readers that they like the sponsorships because we try to keep them news-based, try to keep them the resource-based, so you're grabbing some kind of resource from them. So that's the newsletter side of it. And the other side is the education, and that's just yearly annual memberships.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Right now it's $999 a year,
Okay.
but we're actively figuring out ways to make that
$999 a year?
$1,000 a year.
$1,000 a year, okay.
Yeah. So we're actively finding ways to create cheaper plans for more accessible people. And that's going to come with the mobile app as we do roll that out.
Wow. As living in this AI world, tell me about the AI tools and AI tricks that you and your team use, because you're putting out a ton of content educationally, media-wise, in like a world where every 6 hours is something new. Like, what are your favorite AI tools?
Oh man, this is such a tough question because I don't know where to start. It's like there's so many.
Give me the one like if it went away tomorrow, you'd be like, I'm crushed.
Well, I think our team, and I'm not a developer, like I just said, I'm a dropout who is generalist in everything. Our team uses AI probably the most in coding, just building our platforms. But for me, myself personally, I give you one cool one that we've been exploring, and it actually just started off as an experiment because I'm a writer like you. I write a lot of content, and all of the readers were like, I need to find a way to do video. And so I'm writing this content, I'm doing interviews, and I'm also running this business.
Yeah.
I'm still the CEO. So it's like I'm working over 80 hours a week. There's no way I'm getting in front of a camera and like doing my makeup, doing my hair, and doing the script every day, that sort of thing. So we're like, what if we are super open about this and we test an experiment of an AI avatar cloned to my face and voice? It's still my natural writing. We still have to do a lot of editing in between to make it really polished, right? Because there's a difference between AI slop and really polished, well done, edited
like diction
content
almost.
that's useful to people. So we experimented with this, and the Instagram account's over 150,000 followers now. And it allows me to scale back and not record anything, and allows my editor to basically take my writing, push that into the avatar, push that into another AI video or AI audio generation tool, push it together, add B-roll, create editing, engage with the community. That sort of stuff is really important to content.
It's an AI avatar of you?
It's an AI avatar of me.
Does it look like you? Is it cartoony?
It looks exactly like me.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So this is a way of like you're literally being two places at once.
It does. So as I'm here doing this interview, my Instagram account is still posting content.
Wait, are you
while I'm
real? Are
traveling.
you real? I feel like I'm
Right now, I'm real.
are you a hologram? I gotta make sure
This
that
version of me
real.
is real.
Yes. Okay. Cool. That is wild.
Yeah.
That's so. That's really a way to like scale your time. Which
Yeah.
is
Well,
very
we didn't do short form video, right? And the readers were begging for it, and I'm like, I can't do this. I don't have time, and this is a way that allows us to do it, and it scales as I'm traveling because I travel so much, and it's good content. Good content is good content, and I want to be clear. It's not click to generate. I think there's a lot of slop, and we're anti-slop at the Rundown, but these are high quality videos that take 4 hours to edit, right? We're using these tools. In fact, my editor actually said, if you were recording the video, it would be easier because he has to regenerate it multiple times to make it look right, to make it look natural, to get the voice hitting the right words with emphasis, right? And it takes a lot of clipping and stitching together right now. So it's nowhere near click to generate. But it is a way that allows me to grow my other media properties while being on the road, while writing good content, while sourcing better stories, that sort of stuff.
That's wild. What besides using your services for someone who wants to be up to date on AI? What's the best way to kind of stay in the now?
Yeah, the best way outside of our services is it sucks to say it, but Twitter and X really is. You got to be like permanently on Twitter and X.
Okay.
And that was part of our pull to the newsletter as well, because being on Twitter or X for 2 hours a day, just like refreshing and being constantly updated with these like research breakthroughs, it's a lot, right? And a lot of people don't want to do that. So 5 minutes a day, you read our email and we do that for you. That was like the original pitch and the original value prop for the newsletter. So yeah, X is by far the best source because there's even sometimes breakthroughs or research papers that get launched on X and they don't get launched anywhere else. So X is the only place you'll see all of it.
Oh, very cool. Is there a business philosophy that you follow that has helped you build and run your company?
One that I really love that changed my life. And I didn't always run it this way, but one that's really changed the game as I scale from like 5 to 15 employees. Again, still very small, but making that jump was hard. Is striving for simple. I think with anything in life, but especially business, things will increasingly get more complex. And just really trying to strive for the simplicity, whether that's in contracts, whether that's incentives for your employees, whether that's in your content or where else you're expanding your business is there's so much you can do. But striving for simple and doing that simple thing extremely well has served me well. And I think it's something I advise everyone on to do. Yeah.
I love it. We'll keep it simple here. Rowan,
Yeah.
thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. This is great.
Thanks, man.